Hi, I'm James, a photographer and online media personality in Atlanta, Georgia. This show is my way of sharing some of my favorite home cooking tips to eating restaurant quality meals on a tight budget through recipes I've learned in my travels and also my West African and Southern American roots. This is The Counter. Good morning. My name is James K. Holder II. Some of you may know me as Sir James II. I'd like to welcome you back to The Counter. Today we're continuing with our money-saving morning routine series where our aim is to save you $10 or more within a 10-minute breakfast and lunch combination that you can prepare every morning. Today we're putting together a hummus and veggie platter, a tomato and egg sandwich, as well as a French pressed black coffee. Right now I have my pot of water boiling for my coffee, and we're gonna go ahead and get started with that. I like to measure based on the grinder itself, pour it right into that base. So I'm gonna grind this up. My particular grinder is automatic, so it tells me when to stop. Grab my French press, take my water off the boil, remove this. I like to take my water off the boil just for about maybe 30-40 seconds so that it's not super hot. I always like to use a plastic spoon in my French press. In about 8 minutes, this will be ready. Now I'm gonna get started on the rest of my ingredients. And the two things I'm gonna make today are a lunch component, which are our hummus platter. I know you're thinking, oh, hummus, like no meat? No, that's fine. What I wanna do is basically have a vegan option for my guests and also have something that lets you know like that there's affordable options and things you can make quickly that are very healthy for you that everyone has access to. So we're gonna make our own hummus and we're gonna use that hummus as a spread for our egg sandwich. I'm gonna start working on my garbanzo beans. Now I'm gonna rinse this really quickly, crack these. So I'm gonna whisk these up. And what I'm looking for here is just sort of a nice incorporation of the yolk and the white. So our eggs are whipped. We've got our garbanzo beans drained and ready to go. We're gonna put that right into our blender. Now, if you have a food processor or even a smaller chopper, that's even better. Toss in 3 whole cloves of garlic. I'm gonna start it with a little bit of olive oil. We're gonna probably add quite a bit more as this gets to grinding up. Traditionally, hummus is blended with tahini, which is a sesame seed paste. And I'm actually not gonna use that ingredient just to kind of save a little bit of money. I'm going to substitute our tahini for a little bit of toasted sesame oil. I have some parsley just out to the side. Start pulsing this. I want to get this all well incorporated and going. So that's going to be ready for us when we're ready for it. Getting my pan ready for my eggs. Well, on medium, a little lower than medium heat. On my stove it's a 4, but you just want to be one step below medium. And what I'm going to do is just pour these eggs right in here. Now I want to look for that to start coming together. When it starts forming a little bit of a solid around the edges, I'm going to just form and make sort of an omelet with that. Now our eggs are coming together over here. And what I'm going to do is just kind of fold these into each other. Let them start coming to the center. As they start forming a solid around the outside right here, I'm just going to bring them into the center and then use sort of that heat to make sure that all the egg is cooked. So this is a little bit more of like an omelet style preparation. And that's because I don't really want really soft eggs with this. I'm going to take this opportunity to go ahead and put salt and pepper on my eggs. And really at this point, this egg is pretty much has come together. So I can go ahead and take it off the heat. The residual heat is going to keep cooking this. They look perfect. And I'm going to start working on my baguette. Because I'm using our baguette in our hummus platter, but I'm also going to use it for the bread for my sandwich. So the first thing I want to do is just cut big pieces of this off on the bias. I'm using my serrated knife here. I'm going to cut some wedges just so that I have about 4 or 5 nice wedges of this wonderful bread to use on my hummus platter. And I'm going to start assembling these on our platter here. like so. So this is a nice, beautiful start. And I'm going to just cut this almost all the way through, fold this open, I want to reach in here with my small spatula, and I'm going to dress the bread for this sandwich. I'm just going to grab a nice scoop of this prepared hummus or chickpeas bread, and I just want to get a nice even spread and coat on this sandwich. Scoop our eggs right on to this sandwich. Exactly how I want that to look. So our egg sandwich is almost complete. Again, our pan from our eggs is already coming up to temperature. Do a quick rinse on this tomato. I'm just gonna put a little bit of olive oil right here in this pan. As you can see, it's already hot. I'm gonna grab my santoku knife, and I'm going to slice 2 nice slices, maybe 3 of this tomato. And I'm gonna basically sear these right here in this pan. These tomatoes take virtually no time to cook, and I'm gonna start focusing on assembling my lunch platter. Just fill this bowl with our hummus. If I were serving this for myself, I would probably limit this to about 4 ounces. This is more than enough for a nice hearty lunch. We are going to flip our tomatoes. Perfect. You see that? You see the difference in color of that fresh tomato uncooked and this? That's exactly what you're looking for, that little bit of browning. Very little bit. Smoked paprika, which is traditional, drizzle and coat this with a little bit of olive oil. It will be very easy to assemble this in a to-go or takeout container. So if you have one of those on hand, absolutely assemble in this if you're taking it for lunch. But this works for me. Throw a little bit of fresh parsley in. Our breakfast sandwich is almost assembled, and the only thing that I'm going to do to finish off this breakfast sandwich once our tomatoes come off is I'm going to wrap the entire sandwich in a bit of aluminum foil. Now, this serves a dual purpose. One, it helps make the sandwich portable, but once I put the foil on and then wrap all of that hot egg and the hot tomato in that bread, it's going to sort of internally steam and heat up that bread from whatever state it was. So this is why we don't need to necessarily toast this bread before it goes on. Tomatoes are ready. Doesn't that look gorgeous? Oh. This is one of my absolute favorite recipes. Wrap this up. You might be more proficient in wrapping than I am. But this is our sandwich wrapped up, and I will unravel it for the reveal. Press down on my French press. You would run this for about 6 to 8 minutes. If you wanted it a bit stronger, you might run it for 8 minutes. What I'm going to do now is go into our refrigerator and grab the vegetables that I want to use. I'm not going to use all of these. The best part about this recipe and this demo is that you can use anything that's about to go bad in your refrigerator. If you like to keep fresh produce around, but you don't have the time to really monitor what's in and what's out, what's about to go bad, this is a really good mechanism to make sure you're not wasting what's left in your pantries. So we've got our hummus, we've got our fresh vegetables that we're putting together. I think these 2 celery stalks are enough for me. If I wanted to kind of cut them farther, I could. This one, as it gets to the base, it gets a little thicker, so I'm just going to cut these in half. These are, cute little cucumbers, but the good thing about them is, again, the skin is a little bit thinner, so you don't necessarily have to peel these. They make it very easy to serve them as a part of a platter like this. I want to cut these into 6ths here. Oh, it smells so good. I love the smell of that fresh cucumber. So we've got our cucumber, we've got our celery. The next thing, I want to just take one of these carrots. Carrots are one of those things that I like to keep around. It's really just the best dish, whether you're going to cook it, have it raw, as a preparation like this. For this particular recipe, if you have baby carrots or something like that, that works just as well here. I always keep carrots in my home, and this is a really good way to make sure I'm not wasting my carrots, that they're not going bad. You can cut up any of these things in advance. A lot of people might not think that you can use zucchini in this raw application, but I love having raw zucchini present in my platters. So just cut it at an angle. What's good about this is that it's really scalable and it's also really portable. Most of these dishes, none of these vegetables that you're cutting up are ones that will sort of perish if you leave them out too long. I'm only going to use half of this bell pepper for this particular recipe. And I just want to kind of peel this out with my hand. The thing about red bell pepper that's beautiful is that you can have it raw, you can have it cooked, you can have it grilled. That you just keep it in your refrigerator and it goes along with everything. Here we have it. I'm going to pretty this up a little bit. So that is our veggie and hummus platter with our fresh baguette. Just turn that pour over. Add your cream and your sugar to that. And then lastly, our egg sandwich that we prepared before. I hope you'll try this recipe at home and let me know how it worked out for you. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I want you to retweet this and repeat this video. If you liked what you saw here, make sure to watch future and past episodes of The Counter at www.thecountertv.com. And if you really want to support, make sure to make a donation to the PayPal link. That is www.paypal.me/jkh2. I thank you all for tuning in and I hope to see you next week.